Do you struggle to photograph and edit brown foods? You're not alone, my friend. In this video, I'm going to share my top 3 tips for editing brown food, and we're going to do that in Capture One. Hi, I'm Rachel Koronek, professional food photographer, helping you edit incredible photos that look good enough to eat. Now we're going to be looking at 2 images today. So a gorgeous moist chocolate cake and a refreshing cold iced coffee. Now our first tip has to do with color correction. We need to make sure that we're color correcting our brown so that we're getting the most luscious, mouth-watering brown possible for the specific recipe that we're shooting. So let's jump into our first image here, which is our chocolate cake. I want to show you what colors are made up of chocolate. So I'm going to open the color range tool here and I'm going to jump into reds. Now you can see that we have a little bit of red within the chocolate cake. We also have orange, of course, that is going to be the main color that we have for chocolate. But you will find that there will be a little touch of yellow in there somewhere, which means sometimes it can borderline on green as well. Now, because we have orange, you'll also find that it's going to bleed into those ranges of yellow. So what do we need to make sure that we're doing is we need to make sure that our reds and our oranges are really on point. So the first thing that I always do when I am playing with any brown foods is I want to make sure that I am playing in the color editor, so the basic color editor. I'm playing with my reds, oranges, and yellows. So basically, I'm just going to be changing the hue till it feels around the right type of brown for the specific food. So I might want to bring it out of the yellows. I definitely am going to bring any yellows into sort of an orange area and any greens, bring them all the way down to yellow, but also desaturate them. So I don't want to find that I have greens in my image. So this, you'll see here, this is just a really subtle adjustment, but it's allowing us to get the type of brown that we're after. So I'm going to jump into our next iced coffee image here and let's have a look at the color range again. So in the last image, we had a lot of red and a lot of orange, but in this particular brown, we actually don't have as much red. As you can see, it's not showing up. Orange, we also have a lot, but in this image, you'll see because it is a lighter brown, we're going to see some of those yellow tones in there. So for this one, I want to make sure that I'm jumping into the basic color editor, really making sure that my oranges are less yellow and green and probably a touch more red, but also that my yellows are moving a little towards the browns. And again, I'm going to go in and just make sure my greens are desaturated. The next thing we want to think about is the texture of the food. So we're going to be looking at a clarity adjustment. So the 2 foods that we're looking at, one feels like it needs to be full of texture. It needs to be a little bit crunchy on the outside, moist on the inside, but we have that really cakey feeling. The other is this beautiful, smooth, cold liquid. So we're going to approach clarity differently. So I'm going to reset the clarity adjustments that we have for both of these images. And let's take a look at editing just clarity. So I'm going to just jump into our floating tool here. So I'm going to start editing the cake photo. Now I'm going to do something that's really kind of punchy, and let's just bring the clarity all the way up so that you can really see what that's doing. We want to see all the texture. We want to see those cracks. We want to feel the really juicy, cakey texture. So I'm going to be a little bit more heavy-handed with this adjustment than what I'm going to be doing for the iced coffee. So this one, I'm going to do something that is a little bit more natural. I'm going to maybe just reduce the clarity so it feels a little bit more smooth. So you always want to think about the texture of your brown food. Is it going to be crunchy or chewy, or is it going to be soft and gooey? And then make your clarity adjustments based on the recipe and how it's going to feel when the viewer takes a bite. My last tip is usually when it comes to brown foods, they have a really warm connotation. So that can be warm brownies or it can be comfort food. Apart from the iced coffee, but then again, like it has a certain feeling that that color should make us feel. So I recommend when we're color grading to use something on the warm side. So I'm going to jump into the chocolate cake photo again, and we're going to have a look at color balance You might want to do an overall color grade, like something just very, very slight, very subtle in the oranges or the reds. I usually would recommend for this particular photo. And then you can go ahead and saturate it or desaturate it to help bring out the warmth of that beautiful chocolate. So let's see our chocolate image before and after. So with those few adjustments, so making sure we're color correcting for chocolate, we're making sure that we are using the right clarity adjustments to really bring out that texture and adding a little bit of a warm color grade to really bump up the richness of this chocolate cake. So here is what we had before and after. Now that you have those 3 tips, hopefully you won't be scared of editing brown foods again. So that next time brown food lands on your table, you can go ahead and use these tips to make sure that brown is the most perfect color it can be. If you're ready to take your photos to the next level, get savvy in Capture One and unlock the secrets to the industry's most powerful editing tool, then make sure you check out my masterclass, Capture One Magic. If you have any questions or comments about editing brown food, just let me know in the comments below.